What could possibly be the point of all that? Help. Help. He just reached his hand up and said, help. And that is the nature of Jesus. It's like being out on a ship and you're swimming, and you cannot reach up the top of the gunwale, and Jesus is just saying, I'm here for you. And I didn't want to read. I'm not sure where all my stuff Okay, I will. Thank you very much. Okay, let me just read this. It says, this is the Apostle Paul speaking. And this is his testimony that he says. This is where he was before the crowd in Athens. Thank you very much. And these were kind of the Stoic philosophers of his day. And he basically gets his turn, and he speaks out and says, the God who made the world and everything in it, being Lord of heavens and earth, does not live in temples made by hand, nor is he served by human hands as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all mankind life and breath and everything. And he made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling places, that they should seek God in the hope that they might feel their way towards him and find him, and that he is not actually far from each one of us. Jesus, it says that the light, it says, draw near to God and he will draw near to you, that he is not far from each and every one of us. For those that have not come to faith, he is just off your soul, the hearts that would be out of sincerity to say, no, I give. I'm not into a cheap conversation with God. It's not I tried Jesus for a while, but it's the idea of that. You know what? You're going to take a beat-up trash can like this and be in the recycling business. And I'm not a sinner anymore. That's not my identity. I am a son of Abba. I am God's adopted son. The parable of, you guys are all going to have a chance to take books home with you tonight. But the one is the prodigal God, and it's the idea that it's not so much the prodigal son parable, it's the prodigal God. Prodigal means spendthrift. The idea being is that God spent everything on both of his sons. Two sons were lost. One came to their senses. The other one never knew he was lost in the first place, and therefore was never a candidate to be found. It was the younger son who said, and coming to his senses, I will go back to my father. And as he's got his speech rehearsed about going back to the father, he's walking down the road saying, just make me as a hireling, not even as a slave, the lowest class rung. His father at a distance sees him and comes running to him and embraces him and smothers him with kisses and basically throws, this fantastic party and said, my son who is lost has been found. Guys, this isn't religion. This is just being rightly related to your God. To close here, my life, I said two things. The negative is that I did life by way of what it looked like in living disconnected with God, and also bad company corrupts good morals. The kind of guys, there are a lot of really good buddies, and I don't want to ditch guys that are not of the faith. There are great guys and guys that I love hanging out with all the time. But there are a lot of guys that I chose to hang with that basically fed the wrong part of who I was, and I had consequences of this. So for me, what Dave and Kevin, and there's so many guys, there's guys in here that I go back 30 years. 30 years or better. And it's just the idea of growing old together with guys and to be able to do it in a way where, what you see is what you get. I'm tired of what I call crink neck life, which is looking over your shoulder and wondering about who's looking at you and what they think about you. I'm just going, you know what? The motto of our group is that, is that all you got? When guys come good with something, there's a sense of propriety in keeping it to ourselves. But there's a sense of, you know what? When someone's got the courage to come good, their stock in our eyes just goes up. And that is a powerful, powerful gift, to be known by someone. My wife and I know each other for close to 35 years. To be known by another person, bare, naked, is something we all long for. And when you do that with other guys, and it's going to require risk, you will never know the experience of true liberty until you risk in faith. And I tell you what, I know that time is a huge issue with a lot of guys, but almost you got to ask yourself the question, can I afford not to invest the time in making a decision that now is the point of time. I'm going to do something.